that's it, Barney. Breathe in. Keep those bum cheeks tight together. Look wistfully. Yeah. Killing it, mate. Killing it. Hi campers. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. And I'm back out in the local woods. And I'm out for a wild camp today. Got a new rucksack on my back. Check that bad boy out. It's a Karrimor SF Sabre 75. Bought it second hand a few weeks ago off my mate Tim when I was camping up in Suffolk. And it is a humongous backpack, or 75 litres, and I've got it full up. First camp, and I'm loving it. Great bit of kit. It's about the same size as a really well-fed Labrador, I think, if you want a bit of perspective. But it feels really nice in the back. I'm really pleased with it. But yeah, I'm just on the trail at the moment, hiking around the beautiful autumnal woodlands, and I'm gonna head to a spot that I filmed in briefly on my last video when I was out for a bimble, updating you on the fundraising. And I might camp at one of those spots tonight that I recce'd last time. So I'm going to head that way now and get a feel for the place, see if I'm happy camping there. If I'm not happy, then I've got some other options elsewhere in the woods that I can divert to, so I'll bring you along. Going to check this area out for a bit, see if I can find somewhere to throw a tarp up around here, but it looks like quite a nice woodland. It's a very small woodland, but yeah, quite happy with it. So that spot where my rucksack is looks quite nice, but you've got a whopping great beech tree there. I don't really want to camp underneath that, so I'm going to look elsewhere. Ground's quite thick with ivy here, but that shouldn't present an issue. I'm only sleeping on my foam mat. What's good about this area though is that it's relatively flat, so that's quite nice. Got a nice spot there. Clear away some of the sticks and that could be quite nice. But yeah, very thick with ivy around here. So I think I'm going to go between this sycamore and this sycamore here. There we go. It's relatively flat, out of sight or from the footpaths that are nearby. So yeah, and no one's been around here for a long time. There's quite a lot of game trails crisscrossing this woodland, but no sign of people walking around here, that's for sure. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop here, have a cup of tea. So one of the things I really like about this rucksack is these humongous side pockets here. I've got my Crusader cook set in there, plus my methylated spirits in the Trangia bottle. There's stacks of room there. Or even on the other side I've got an Algene bottle and a can of beer. Yeah, really pleased with it so far. Let's get some stuff out. Got my Smock. That's what I'm looking for. I've bought a chair. Sometimes, folks, I come out wild camping with the intention of being a bit minimalist with my camping kit, and other times I don't. I pack for comfort, and today is one of those days. Hence why I got the chair. Oh yeah, that's better. I do like this chair. It just takes your camping experience to the next level. Nice. Heard a robin calling then. So I think before I commit to camping at this new spot, I'm just going to stop, sit here for a bit, have a cup of tea, relax, and just, sometimes you need to get a feel for a place, I think. Some places you feel quite comfortable spending a bit of time, in other places you're just not so sure about. But so far so good here. And then if I'm happy here, I will start making my shelter. Get a tarp up. Got some new kit to show off on this video, folks. First one was the rucksack there. I've got a nice new smock as well, which you might have seen me in my last video actually wearing this. Got the Helikon Tex SAS Smock, which I bought recently. Gone for black. I seem to be wearing a lot of black today. Well, I'm all black, like a ninja, as if. And I've got a nice new Bivvy bag in the rucksack as well, which I'll show you a little bit later. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, tea. Time for tea. Got the bee just buzzed past. Got the Crusader kit today. Going to be cooking up a nice curry in this later, as part of that Crusader Cup cooking series I said I was going to start filming. More on that later. Lovely. So I'm having a oolong tea now, folks, which is a bit of a Chinese sort of herbal tea type thing. Right, a boil just in. I'll let that brew in the pot. Give that a few minutes. Cheers, folks. Lovely. Sitting here now as I cool down, having walked in to this spot. You start to feel the chill a little bit. So I've layered up, got the smock on. But yeah, there's a bit of a breeze blowing through this woodland. Nothing major, but enough to make you feel the chill. But yeah, I've decided that I like it here. I'm going to camp. I'm going to throw the tarp up after my tea. I'm conscious that when I mentioned earlier about buying the rucksack and this smock and the bivvy bag that I showed you, I wanted to make a point that as part of buying that kit, I've also been on a bit of a selling spree recently. I've been selling bits and bobs that I've not been using, and I sold some stuff at a Suffolk camp I was at recently. I've also been selling some bits on eBay as well. I've sold a couple of rucksacks and my old GoPro as well, which I used to film these videos on. And those sales have, by and large, paid for this smock and that rucksack outright. So I haven't spent a penny on them yet. And the money that I've spent on the bivvy bag, I'll show you later as well. I've not made up yet, but I've got 1 or 2 tents here marked that I'm going to put on eBay at some point soon. So the whole thing kind of becomes self-funding in a way, which sounds stupid, but the good thing about when you buy a good camping kit is that it does seem to hold on to much of its value. So with a few of the products that I've sold, like the rucksacks recently that I sold, I've got back the money that I actually paid for them, so I was quite pleased about that. I mean, one of the rucksacks that I sold was the Virtus 40 litre day sack, British Army issue pack. I paid 80 quid for it, and I sold it for 80 quid on eBay, so happy with that. And I think that's just a point worth making, is that when you see me buying camping kit and bits and bobs, I'm not I don't want to make out that I'm minted and got loads of money. I'll spend time saving bits and bobs, saving money here and there, and I'll sell stuff here and there as well, and try to do it a bit more conscientiously. Ironically, when I was selling stuff earlier in September and building up some funds, my mindset was on actually buying a rather expensive Savota rucksack. I wanted to get a large Savota pack, and they're sort of about £400 or so all in. I ended up getting that Karrimor Sabre rucksack for £120. Yeah, and it's the rucksack that I never knew I wanted, but or needed, but I'm absolutely made up with it. So it's pucker. I'll put it in shot there. Yeah, really pleased with it. I've never had a big sort of load lugging rucksack like that before. The biggest pack I had previously was the little brother of that pack, the Sabre 45, which is also an awesome rucksack, and that just carries on that theme. Really enjoy carrying that at the moment. Time to throw the tarp up, folks. I've got my Outkit Rig 3.5 tarp with me today. Hoping there's a ridge line in here somewhere. A lot of people use toggle systems nowadays for their ridge lines. It's a system that's been promoted quite a lot by sort of Dave Canterbury. But I've got to say, I still much prefer using good old-fashioned knots and just keeping my knots in regular practice, because if you don't, knots are one of those things, if you don't keep tying those knots that you need for putting tarps up and such like, it is a skill set that you will quite easily forget if not practiced. So that's a simple reason why I prefer knots instead of using toggles. There we go, folks. Nice simple lean-to. And I've pulled the centre out at the back just to open it up a bit more inside. But yeah, happy with that. It's probably one of my favoured tarp configurations. That, the A-frame and the plough point are like the three go-tos for me really. And when the weather's fair as it is at the moment, that'd be nice. I've got my folding firebox with me today, so I should probably have a little stick fire out front in the firebox. I'll clear a bit of this ivy away so I don't burn the ivy. But yeah, should be quite nice. Right, gonna make it more homely now, I think. So you can see I've got a ground sheet and my X-Ped foam mat laid out there. But like I said, I've got a new Bivvy bag, and I have Paul Mesner to thank for this Bivvy bag. He doesn't know it, but he posted a video about 3 weeks ago looking at giving viewers advice on how to buy cheap camping kit, tents and such like, and he was looking at Go Outdoors, looking at some of the products they sell, and he was specifically looking at buying good quality camping kit that's cheap. He's looking on eBay, on Vinted, and all sorts of places where you can get that good sort of camping kit. And whilst he was scrolling through Vinted, he stopped on a Bivvy bag, and it was this Bivvy bag, Carinthia Bivvy bag, and he stopped on that, and he actually remarked, "Oh, that's quite good value." And about 2 or 3 days after he posted that video, I was watching that video as well, and I saw him stop on that Carinthia Bivvy bag, and I thought, flipping heck, that was good value. So there and then I went on Vinted. I actually had never been on Vinted before, and I looked this up, found the Bivvy bag he was talking about, that it was still available for sale. It was already at a fairly good price, I've got to be honest, but I put in a cheeky offer, and this is the Carinthia version of the Dutch hooped Bivvy that you've seen me using before. I've said in a few videos in the past, including the camping kit video I made about Bivvy bags, in which I said that Carinthia are sort of, when it comes to Bivvy bags, they make the sort of Rolls Royce of Bivvy bags. And so I've always wanted a Carinthia Bivvy bag, and I'm pleased as punch. This arrived yesterday in the post. It took absolutely ages for Yodel to deliver this. I do not recommend using Yodel as a courier, by the way. That wasn't my choice, but it got here in the end. And yeah, really nice, compact, lightweight Bivvy bag. It's a hooped Bivvy bag. As I say, it's like the Dutch Army hooped Bivvy bag. Made out of Gore-Tex. Really top quality materials and hardware. And yeah, today is the first camp for it. I'm really excited. And I got it for a steal. You know, these retail for between £600 and £700. It's like really silly money for these things. The guy on Vinted was selling it for £250, and I knocked him down from that price as well. I got it for £225 in the end. He listed it as being brand new but without the tags attached. When it arrived yesterday, I had a really good look around it, and I've no reason to doubt that listing. It looks like it has not been used. It looks brand new. So yeah, pleased as punch with it. So I'm going to lay it out now under the tarp on the mat and give you a look at it. One thing that struck me as soon as I got this out of the packaging was how much more lightweight it feels compared to my Dutch Army variant. It didn't come with the pegs. I've added them in myself. There we go, got the hoop. Nice alloy hoop. And put it in there, I think. But yeah, genuine Gore-Tex. Thread that hoop through. There's the opening. Folks, yeah, the fabric, although it's genuine Gore-Tex, it's a lot thinner and lighter than the fabric you get on the Dutch Army Bivvy bag. Really nice quality YKK zippers. Yeah, I just noticed as well there's a little loop here, so you can lift up the foot end of the Bivvy bag if you wish. I'm not going to bother with that. But yeah, so Carinthia, if you don't know, are they're not a very well-known brand on sort of Civvy Street, but they're an Austrian company, a defence contractor that make all sorts of clothing, sleeping bags, bivvy bags, and such like for the military. So they're an Austrian company. They serve, I'm sure, the Austrian military, the German military, Dutch, and I've just discovered as well the British military, because this bivvy bag has a UK NATO stock number on it. When I bought this on Vinted, the guy who was selling it listed it as a variant of a bivvy bag that is offered to the mainstream public, but this was specifically for the Marines. I don't know how true that is. If any Marines or former Marines are watching this video, I'd love to hear from you and learn whether this was something that you guys were issued in the Marines, because if I was in the Marines I'd be quite happy with this. I think it's a very nice product. But yeah, the design is identical to my Dutch hoop bivvy though, really. I've got the mozzie net that I can drape down on the hood there. Feels like it's a similar size and dimension, so I'm looking forward to sleeping in this tonight, and looking forward to some more adventures to come with it as well. Yeah, really impressed with it on first impressions. If anyone's interested in seeing a comparison video between this and the Dutch Army hoop bivvy, then drop me a comment, let me know if that's a video you want to see, and I'll do my best to get something filmed and produced. Let's just get the sleeping kit in the bivvy now. Usual setup for me really. I've got my stuff sat pillow that I'm putting my clothes bag into. I've got my wool swan dry there now as well. And today I'm using my Rab 2-season sleeping bag. This is good down to -1. I was going to take my 1-season bag out, my snug pack, because it's only getting down to about 9-10 degrees tonight, but I thought I've got the big rucksack with me, I may as well pack for comfort. So here it is, my more sort of comfortable sleeping bag. Lovely jubbly. Right folks, there we go. That's me. Sorted for camp now, I think. Everything's all squared away. Brought my little fire maple table with me. Like I said, I've packed for comfort on this camp. What I'll probably end up doing is that I'll pack for comfort on this one, and then next time I'll be going bare bones again, taking the day sack out for a camp somewhere else. But yeah, I'm going to get some food on the go now. Got my little food bag here, David Fry's pouch. And I've got a few bits and bobs in here. This spoon. I've got some mackerel and a curry mackerel with curry sauce on it, and then a curry flavoured mugshot that I could have, but I'm having curry for tea tonight, so I'm going to give that a miss. I've got a cup of soup, but I'm ravenous, so I'm going to have one of these Fray Bentos meal pouches, the pasta bolognese one. You can boil these in the bag, so I'm going to do that in the Crusader cup. Get some water on for a brew at the same time. Biscuits for afters. Spoon. Looks like the spaghetti bolognese that you get in the tins, like the Heinz ones. Smells like it too. Give it a good mix. But it's got fusilli pasta. Yeah, it's all right. Fills a hole. Well, folks, that pasta bolognese was, yeah, I wouldn't buy it again. Let's put it that way. I've had the Fray Bentos chicken tikka with rice sachet meal as well a little while back. That was much better than the pasta bolognese, I've got to say. So I wouldn't recommend the pasta bolognese, but give the curry a try. I've got the chili con carne one at home to have as well at some point, so maybe I'll take that out on a camp soon. But to wash out that horrible taste of nasty pasta bolognese, it's time for Barneys, Biscuits and Brews. I've got a cup of tea on the go. Just done a little pan around, but for dunking today I've got something a little bit left field. I've got one of the Borders dark chocolate and ginger biscuits. It's a bar, but it's biscuit as well. I've had these before, they are very tasty. And then also a little bit left field, I've got in here some Pink Panther wafers. Bit of a classic. I'm going to go in with the wafers first. Actually, I've got a bit of sentimental sort of attachment to the Pink Panther wafers, because I'm not expecting this to be a great dunker, but when I was a lad at primary school, I'd finish school, I'd go home. I wouldn't go home, I'd go to my nan and granddad's because my mum and dad were working. So my nan and granddad would look after me for an hour or so. And and every time I'd go around my nan and granddad's after school, they'd get the biscuit jar out. And in that biscuit jar you would always have Pink Panther wafers. Digestives and custard creams were the others in the tin, I think. But yeah, I've got strong sort of vivid memories of nan and granddad always plying me with Pink Panther wafers. So yeah, I've got a strong attachment to these lovely little biscuits. So I'm going straight in for a dunk. Wafers aren't ordinarily that great. As dunking goes, this definitely isn't great. You can dunk it for a good long while. But no. Pink Panther wafers are best had dry. But they'll always be a significant biscuit for me. I think Pink Panther wafers are ordinarily quite
a divisive biscuit. Granted, they're not necessarily a biscuit, they're a wafer. But what do you guys think of Pink Panther wafers? Do you like them, or do you loathe them? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. That's a nice cup of tea though. I'm going to get straight in with the Borders biscuit. Borders, by the way, for those that don't know, is quite a posh biscuit brand in the UK. I've done the raspberry Borders biscuits before, raspberry and chocolate I think they were, but yeah, look at that. Just going to go straight in. I reckon this can take a bit of dunking. I do like a ginger biscuit though. Ginger nuts are right up there for me. Get a nice bit of warmth coming through from the ginger at the end of that, but the dunk barely did anything to the biscuit. It's just melted the chocolate around it. So I'm going to go for a bit longer. That was much better after a longer dunk. Borders are nice. They do make a nice biscuit, but you pay a pretty penny for it. That's the thing. They're not cheap. That was nice. That was very nice. Yeah, I like Borders. They're expensive. I got them for this video because they were on offer in the supermarkets. They were reduced. But I do like them. They are nice. But that high-end price point keeps them out of the Hall of Fame for me, I think. You leave a really nice aftertaste in your mouth though. If you're a fan of ginger, then have a go on one of them. You won't regret it, that's for sure. But I'm going to have some more Pink Panther wafers, because why not? So what do you think, folks? Let me know what you think of Pink Panther wafers and the Borders ginger biscuits. I'll be curious to hear your thoughts.
So it's a bit sad to see some of the trees around here just getting overgrown with ivy. The ivy is just completely taking it over around here. So I've just been going around trying to pull back on some of the ivy, help the trees out a little bit. Been taking down some of this stuff, cutting some bits away, cutting big chunks of ivy off, giving the tree a bit of a sporting chance really, because there's some lovely trees around here. So I've just done a bit of work on this tree to break the chain in terms of the ivy growing up the tree. Pulled a bit of it back on that beech tree as well, although that looks okay. And then I've done a bit of work on these two sycamore trees here, pulling back all the ivy, again just breaking the chain. And you can see here these markings on the tree where the ivy was sort of really constraining the growth of the sycamore. So done a few trees. Hopefully that will help them out. I'm not an arborist or anything. I don't know what I'm doing, but you can't let the ivy continue as it is around here because it will just kill all the trees eventually. be a long, slow death for them. But yeah, maybe every time I can come up here, I'll do a little bit on the ivy. Hopefully, by breaking that chain, the ivy that's further up the tree might die off a little bit. We'll see. I'm not sure, but I'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. In the meantime, though, I'm starting to collect some sticks for my firebox later on. Get that lit up in an hour or two. Been a really pleasant day here so far though. It's been really quiet in this woodland. You can hear a few dog walkers walking by nearby, but I'm tucked well out of the way here. This is a woodland that isn't on any well-trodden path at all, really. So yeah, nice little spot. Quite pleased about it. Hi campers. I've just gone out to a field nearby and collected some grass to make a bird's nest to light the fire. Come to my little flint and steel kit. Got me steel, got me flint, but I forgot that I'd taken the char cloth out and put some fresh cloth in there that needs charring, so I haven't got no char cloth to get the fire established, which is a bit of a rookie error. So I'm going to just light up the tinder bundle with the ferro rod instead. Let's get it going. Just going to rough that up a little bit, get some nice fine fibres. You see that all right? Just adjust that. There we go. Well, that goes quick, doesn't it? Well, that was easy. Oh yeah, that grass worked really well, folks. We haven't had rain for quite a few days down here, so grass and all the sticks here are all pretty dry. So I wasn't expecting too much drama. What's nice though is that I forced myself to do that. I was going to be lazy and just use a firelighter, but it is quite fun lighting fires using whatever materials you can forage from your area. It's always a sort of fun little challenge I like to set myself. May as well get that char cloth on the fire now. Get that ready for next time. Right, that's stopped smoking now, so I'm just going to take it off. Oops. Let that cool and I'll check it out. If it's not charred, then I will put it back on the fire. Hi campers. So it's just gone 5 o'clock, and I'm going to get some dinner when I go in a minute. Getting a bit hungry again. Camp is looking good. Got a bit more wood here just in case. But yeah, got a pretty decent wood pile already though, to be fair. Yeah, looking good. So I took the char cloth off the fire earlier, left it to cool. Got some nice charred cloth there. It's an old cotton t-shirt that I put in there, so that'll be ready for the next fire. I'll bring that out next time. Hi campers. Well, that curry was delicious. Really enjoyed that. I burnt a little bit at the bottom of the pan, so I had to do a little bit of scrubbing when I was washing up earlier, but I've got it done now. It's gotten dark quite quickly in the woods here. What time is it? 6:30. So I think that's time for a beer. Yeah. Gonna crack a beer open in a moment, I think. But yeah, got the fire stoked up nicely now. That's ticking over. And just gonna enjoy the fire now for the rest of the night. And my beverages. And I've got a nice pudding as well. Rice pudding, but not just any rice pudding, deluxe rice pudding. So I'm gonna have that a little bit later. Let dinner go down. But yeah, it's not cold tonight though. I'm sitting here sweating at the moment. I've been running around cleaning up camp, getting washing up done, and just getting everything squared away for the night. I've put my sharp tools back in the rucksack. Don't need to do any cutting now. All good. And yeah, just gonna settle down. So my first beer, I've got 2 beers this evening. I've got a Cornish ale. It's from St Ives Brewery, which is a double dry hopped IPA, 6%. And after that I've got a stout from Vault City Brewers. It's a chocolatey stout, imperial stout, I think, 12%. Should be a punchy little number, that one. Chocolate River Stout. I think it's supposed to be a bit of a play on Willy Wonka, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Try that later, but first up, get on the ale. Cheers, folks. Lovely. The double dry hopped ales are usually quite juicy, quite citrusy, and this one doesn't disappoint. Really nice. Enjoyed that one. I've had a couple of these already, to be honest with you. Yeah, and I really like them. Right, time to relax, I think. You can get used to this sort of camping. It's very nice. And I'm still really excited about getting in that bivvy bag later tonight. Sad, I know. Very sad.
I love this time of night on a camp. All your jobs are done. Wood's prepped, camp sorted, food sorted. You can just sit and relax, enjoy the fire and the ambience. It's lovely. Keep hearing some movement around the woods. Pretty sure it's either badgers or pheasant. Well, the eye campers, so that ale was lovely, but I'm moving on to my second drink now, the chocolatey stout, 12%er. This is only in a 330ml can, so not as volumes. I'm going to decant this one, I think. It smells very sweet. That is delicious. Very chocolatey. It's like an alcoholic chocolate milkshake. That's nice. Nice bit of rice pudding on the go. Warm the cockles before bed. It's not actually that cold tonight, to be honest. The wind's died right down. So yeah, it's fairly mild. Always strip down to base layers when going to bed, folks. Feel the benefit in the morning then, don't you? Put these nice warm layers back on. Plus those clothes kind of form part of my pillow when I go to bed. Right, I'm going to get in the sleeping bag. There we go, folks. All tucked up in bed. Nice and warm. It's lovely. This just feels like getting into my Dutch Army bivvy bag. I ain't slept in that for a while, so it's always nice. Feels like you're getting into a little cocoon. But I doubt I probably won't seal myself into this tonight. I don't need to. The weather's not bad. It's not cold. I'll leave the head end open. Enjoy a nice bit of airflow. But yeah, it's lovely. Morning, campers. Probably doesn't look like morning to you. Probably still looks like night time, but it is 5 to 7 in the morning. Sunrise isn't until about 7:30, I think. But yeah, I had a pretty decent night's sleep. It was really, really warm last night. I had to unzip my sleeping bag in here last night just because I was sweating a little bit. And yeah, as I said before I went to bed, I left the head end open to get a bit of airflow in the bivvy. But yeah, really comfortable, really warm. Really pleased with the bivvy bag, actually. Yeah. Just as well, considering how much I paid for the bloody thing. But yeah, pleasant night was had. Just got the pot on to boil, a cup of tea, and I might have some porridge. I've got some porridge to have this morning. I'm not sure yet whether I'll have it or not.
Cheers, folks. Oh, that's lovely. First cup of tea of the day is perfect. Always hits the right spot. There we go, folks. All packed up. Left no trace as always. Just a sort of brown patch where I cleared some ivy for the firebox. But that ivy will soon grow back, I'm sure. But yeah, I enjoyed that camp. It was quite a nice, luxurious camp for me, or luxurious wild camp, I should say. Next month, I'll most likely be going a bit more minimalist. Probably taking out the Savota day sack for a camp, and yeah, be a little less comfortable, but a little bit more entertaining for you guys, I'm sure. But yeah, I shall sign off here now, make my merry way home, and get editing for this video. I'm undecided yet as to whether to put the cookery into this as one video or make a separate, more sort of detailed edit for my Crusader Cup cooking series. I'll see how that comes out in the edit, I think. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.